Good afternoon. Oh my goodness. Are we on Facebook Live already? Yeah, we are. Couple more minutes. My feet are killing me. I gotta take these off.
That was me yesterday.
I'm gonna shrink by 2 inches now. Okay. Maybe what I'll do is, because nobody can see my shoes live, I'll talk with them on.
That would be cool.
Yeah, the ladies get it. Logging on. Who can share? School's done, right? Like Lisa Packard, you're not a teacher anymore, right? Who else? Who else is on here? School's out for summer.
We're very happy school's out. Very
Yay!
happy.
Nicole. Who else? Who else? Done with school. Done with school. Yeah. Alrighty, it's mid-June. Can you believe it? Just waiting a couple more minutes while the stragglers get on. Maybe what we can do is we have, while you little stragglers get on, we have a funny video to start out with. So we thought we would start with, we haven't shared a fun video for a while. So I don't know if anybody follows Trey Kennedy, but if you don't, you should. So let's play a little what we look like in quarantine on day 1 versus now today. Do I have to share my volume or do you share yours, Allison?
Good morning. Have you ever tried a tequila?
Can you hear it?
Yep.
Not as too bad. Yep, I'm getting dressed like I go to work. It just does a lot for me mentally. I'm red tea to start today.
Is that your 6th day wearing this exact outfit?
Yeah, it's stuck to me at this point. So.
This is wild, isn't it? So we're saying this could last till May.
I know. Do you think our grandkids will be able to go to a concert? Call me crazy, but I'm going to try to make my own sourdough. It's not rising. Did you not let it proof enough? We've done this 50 days in a row. It's going to be such a great time for me and my girlfriend. Great time to just really grow closer all the time. Why do you brush your teeth so loud? Like my own farmer's market here. Just a fridge full of fresh fruits and veggies.
Y'all still do free delivery, right? I'll take 8 bean burritos.
7 a.m. Get the coffee going. That's my routine. I'm going to stick to it. 10:45. Woo, earliest this week. Do I want to go on a walk? No. What am I, an 80-year-old man? No, I don't want to go on a walk.
Trey, you want to go on a walk?
Walk.
You want to go on a walk?
You don't want to go on a walk? Right now? I want to go to walk. Walks are all I have. Important to stay smelly, nice and fresh. I don't know. Just does a lot. Ooh, shower time. Hi, everyone. A group family video chat. Yeah. Grandma, you're figuring it out. This is fun. We should do this all the time. You not hear me? My roommate's on the Wi-Fi. It's just not gonna work. People need to stop buying masks. They told us they don't even work. The nurses need them and stuff. Stop. I'll be right back. Everyone has to wear one. Are you an idiot? Everyone. That's a great thing that's coming out of this. We're dodging Brett and Ashley's baby shower this weekend. You see Brett and Ashley's baby? She's so cute. I want to party with it. I still want to go to a party, man. I'll go to a dog's first birthday party. I don't care. No March Madness was a big bummer, but no sports is best. I'll be fine. 2 swirls, $20 to one on the left. Get to that tree faster. Oh, yes! You got a package? I opened it to make sure there's no virus in there. No, I didn't sanitize it. It's chill. Probably is you, but
funny when you think about it. No time left in prison, baby. Woo! When I get out of here in a few weeks, you'll be like, is that Kennedy or Tina Barbie? Right? I've been putting off so many things around the house. I'm honestly glad this is happening. I'm going to reorganize my closet, clean out my drawers. Like, my first time doing this puzzle. Look at this school of fish hanging out together. There's no school or no hanging out. Screw you! Like it's going to rain the next few days. That's good. We need it. That's good. It's supposed to rain all week. Oh, God, you're crying, so am I. Let me out of here.
Okay, well, hopefully that made you laugh, maybe made you cry. So anyway, I'd highly recommend following Trey Kennedy. He's hilarious because I feel like that's how our emotions have been. Now, here's the good news. I think those Jean Grecos are actually in their office. Am I right? Charisse, are you actually in the office, in the house?
I am actually in the office.
And Allison Marr, are you in the house?
I'm in the house.
Who else? Who else is here in the house? Lisa Packer, are you in the house?
I'm in the house, but I don't want you to watch me eat, so I'm going to go away again.
What's the difference? Tony usually walked in like 2 minutes late with his little like styrofoam thing and sat in the front, all the in the front. That was mine, right? All the time, bringing in their lunch. Come on.
My lunch is on its way right now, actually.
See, I know how you roll. I miss you guys. All right, so let's keep on track here. We have some welcomes. We're going to share some stats. We have training updates. We have a tech update and a staff announcement. So we got a lot going on here. All right, so let's start with, oh, in case you're wondering what Scott and I look like in real life, look at us. We dressed up for the team meeting. Show it off, Scott. Woo, woo. That's what we look like. We just wanted you to have our picture there. So welcome, some updates and training. So awesome. So we have some welcomes. Yay, I won't break any wine glasses today as we cheer them on. So we have Denise Tobianski, newly licensed, Michelle Gaza joining her husband, Dan Gaza. And then we have Shannon Cooper, who's going to be joining Simplified Realty Group that transferred over from Lake Country. So welcome. I'll stick with plastic. And then always we have in our team meeting recap, we'll have our market update that you guys can take this little image and post it on your Facebook page or any social media that you'd like, just to emphasize that, hey, we're listing homes, we're selling homes. We all know, and Scott's going to dig in a little bit more to the language of real estate or lore to talk a little bit more deeper about this and our stats. But most importantly, as we know, all of the updates will be in your team meeting recap. So there's your market update for today. All right, so upcoming training, what do we have going on? So budget mastermind. You know what, Charisse, you've been going to, Charisse, Lisa, Chris, Ruskowitz, I don't know who else normally. Charisse, what would be your biggest aha from the budget mastermind?
Oh my goodness, I have so many ahas from this budget mastermind. But I would just say, gosh, you put me on the spot. I would say the biggest aha is just really knowing what the numbers are and how to run a productive and profitable business. Because when you're going, you think I'm doing all of these units and I'm making all of this money, but like when you're not tracking your expenses and when you don't know on a month-to-month basis what that looks like to run a team and your cost of sale and all of that, like it's really easy to work really hard and not have anything to show for. So I would just say if you really want to know how to run your business like a business and be profitable and build an empire, so to speak, the budget mastermind is going to be that mastermind for you.
Awesome. Thank you for that plug. So here's the deal, guys. When you come to KW, we're not just teaching you how to sell homes, we're teaching you how to run a business. So if you are a capping agent, you need to be going to Budget Mastermind. Then we have our town hall with the amazing Shelly on Wednesdays. I heard her information that she provides is always amazing. And I mean, look at her. She's so cute. All right, and then we have our launch camp for our newly licensed group in the month of June, taking place on Thursday, and then ALC meetings. So this is our Associate Leadership Council, our board of directors. Anybody is welcome to come. This will be live, real people. We're going to be in the training room. If you want to come and join, you can sit in the background and just listen in while we have high-level conversations. You just can't talk or vote if we vote on any policies. So that's what we got going on there. Then we have a listing series. So right after this call, we will get off this Zoom and get on another Zoom. And we will, from 1 to 2, we are on our session 2 pre-listing questionnaire and pre-listing packet, which Tom Martin from Germantown will be moderating with Dawn Shipley, Lisa Packard, Allison Marr, and CJ Lewandowski, who will be sharing their tips. That will be amazing. So that's what we got coming up next. And we don't want to forget to stop talking about bold pivot. The next registration, Allison will make sure to put that registration link in our team meeting recap. So this runs July 14th through August 6th. This is the summer edition. It is versus $799. It's only $99. And I think it's just once or twice a week. So maybe Allison, just take a little note to put the dates in there as well. We can pull those up so that you guys have all of that information. If you are not reaching your goals, this is a great course to take. This will help you get to the next level. Fantastic. All right, compliance call tree. So this is new. You would have received an email from Allison on Friday. So every Friday, our amazing Allison emails out the Zoom links all for the next week. And then she's going to every week now also email out our compliance call tree. So just as a reminder, Cindy Kuss is our lead compliance broker. You can see there she manages phone calls Monday through Thursday and Saturday and Sunday. All 411s and 911s as we call them. 411s are just, I don't know, you're not writing an offer and you don't need to know immediately, but maybe you just have a general question. So if it truly is a 911, let's say you're sitting down with a buyer and you're writing an offer, that's a 911. And you're not getting a response, please do wait, at least 30 minutes. If you don't get a response, then move on down the tree. We've got some other people that you can call that are backup. Fridays are just covered by Lisa Packard, so our little Cindy can actually have a day off. But then after that, we have 3 people. You can try Chris, Jeremy, Julia. I wouldn't suggest you try all of them. I would just say try one and wait a little bit, especially if it's a 411. And then so on. So just pay attention to our compliance call tree email that'll be going out every Friday. And then our next slide is, our information is any agents that are in launch, right? They're still working on their first 5 transactions. Always try your launch mentor first, then Cindy, then Kathy. And good luck if you get to me. Good luck. So that's what that looks like. It takes a village, people. All right, Cindy, the floor is yours. I cannot wait. Woohoo, love letters.
Hello. So I just wanted to go over 2 things that I think are pretty important, and I've been getting a lot of calls on lately, and so is WRA. The first one is the home inspection report. WRA did a really good video, and I have the link down there. And every Thursday they come up with videos, and it just so happened that this one was about the inspection. So when you have a deal, like for listing agents, when you have a deal fall through, let's just say the buyer did a home inspection and came back and didn't like the whatever, and they wanted out of the deal. Deal is done, that's great. You put it back on the market, but you have this home inspection now. A lot of the calls that come in to compliance is, hey, can I give the home inspection out to this new buyer, the second buyer? Now we know there's more defects. How do we take care of the defects? Do we have to disclose everything, and what do we do? So WRA came back with this video, and actually I learned something that I didn't realize. You definitely can share the home inspection report with a new buyer, but there's certain ways we have to do it. If we only have the seller's consent, we have to attach it to the real estate condition report. And let me back up a little bit. If the seller, if we have this first home inspection report and that first buyer cameras, and we know about new defects, we have to disclose the defects. There's 3 ways we can do it. Actually 4 ways. The first way is you can just do a whole new real estate condition report. Some people, if there's like 3, 4, 5 new defects the seller wasn't aware of and now they are, it's like, okay, let's just do a new real estate condition report, easy, and we'll put it in. The second way is you can amend the real estate condition report with the new defects that are known. The third way is you can actually, we don't want to spend the time amending it because there's too many items or it's easier. We can just attach the real estate, the home inspection to the real estate condition report that's existing. Or you don't even have to do the whole inspection report. You can just do the new defect items. So 1 page, 2 page, 3 pages, you can attach that to the real estate condition report. That's how it's supposed to be done properly. What we've been doing in the past, and I am guilty of this, is, okay. What I've been guilty of is I just hand out the home inspection report to the new buyer. Seller consents to it, but I just hand it to them or I email it to them. That's actually, if we do it that way, we actually have to get the previous buyer who paid for the home inspection report. We need their consent also. So the 2 ways to do it is you either attach it to the real estate condition report, and that's, we only need the seller's consent, which that's how we get it. Or if you're going to send it alone up to the new buyer, we also need the previous buyer's consent and the seller's consent. So, which is something I didn't realize. So I think best practice is always just attach it to the real estate condition report if the new buyer wants it. They also, and I put the link in for the video, it's really good that she explains it a little better. We also, when we are going to do that, we also want to prepare the second buyer and let them know it's for information only, not to rely on this previous home inspection, because the first home inspector could have missed something, right? And if they miss something big and we're using that as the report, that could fall liability on our end too. So again, just open communication with everybody on how to do that.
Hey, Cindy,
Yeah.
here's a question. Karen wants to know, can you just attach the summary of the home inspection?
Yeah. Yep. You can. Yeah, you can attach the summary, or you can attach individual pages to do that. I mean, home inspections are like, some of them are 100 pages long, so you might not want to attach the entire thing, but definitely the summary or individual pages that have the pictures to show the defects. So again, by the rule, you have to disclose any new defects that come out, right? So that's a really good way to do that. And again, the advantage for the seller to give out a previous home inspection before a new offer comes in is that they're disclosing everything. So the buyer, this new buyer, knows it ahead of time. They can't get out of the deal because what they know ahead of time. So it's a really good idea to do that. And we've been seeing that a lot more lately. So feel free to watch the video to get some more information on that. And of course, call me if you have questions. And then the next,
just one more.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's one more question. Do you need the seller's written consent?
You would need a written consent if you don't attach it to the real estate condition report. So by attaching it to the report, meaning that you're going to probably, the only way I can think of is you're scanning in the home inspection report and the real estate condition report and making it one document.
So would you say, like Cindy, putting in the condition report, like see attached condition report? I mean,
yeah, you can do
would
that.
probably
Yeah.
be the best
Right.
practice. Like it's on
Yeah,
the
best practice is
report,
added
which
in.
means the seller's consenting, and then you're attaching it.
Yeah, or you could do an amendment to the real estate condition report. There's an actual form, an amendment to the real estate condition report. And instead of, because they only give you like 3 lines,
Yeah.
right, to fill things in, just on the amendment saying attached home inspection pages, whatever, summary page or whatever, to get it on there. Any other questions on that? Those good questions. Okay, and then the second thing I want to talk about, which has been, I think because of the offers having to be pretty competitive and strong, buyers are saying, hey, can I write a love letter or a letter to the seller to make it, you know, so that they know about me. So WRA again came out with some information and some best practices. Love letters are okay, but we want you guys to have a conversation with both the buyer. So in a buyer agent, we want you to have a conversation when a buyer comes to you and says, hey, what if I write a letter? What if I include a picture of myself? What if I, you know, tell them all about me and why they should choose me as the buyer? Definitely after this whole craziness, you're going to want to have a conversation with your buyer saying, I don't know if that's the best way, or what do you want to write in the letter? Let's keep it real simple and so forth. I suggest definitely never put a picture in there. And I know a lot of buyers always want to put pictures in, but my suggestion is don't ever put a picture in. The other side of that is on the seller side, the listing agent does not have to give the letter to the seller, and they're actually not supposed to unless it's incorporated in the offer to purchase. So if you go to the next slide, the letter, if you want to make sure the letter goes to the seller, you have to incorporate it on the last page of the offer, just like you do with addendum A. You have to say love letter or whatever letter, buyer letter to seller attached with this offer. Then the listing agent has to give it to the seller. And again, we have to be careful on what is in the letter. So just a really good conversation to have with either your buyers or on the listing end, your sellers too. Any questions on that?
This is Amy. Can I add something really fast to the letters from the lending side? I've had a couple transactions where the letters, like if somebody is working with a WIDA loan and it affects the household income, and they're writing a letter saying like, oh, me and my mom and my sister and my grandma and everybody's living in this property, but we're trying to use a loan program that is just qualifying off one borrower. That letter, when you say in like on page 9, the letter is included in this offer, my underwriter has to see it. And I've had it affect a loan. We were able to just remove the letter from the loan side of things, but it did create a little bump in the road on the loan side, just because we're doing a loan on like one person and the letter is referencing like 10 people, or that's exaggerating, but just that thought when you're writing those letters too.
You know what, thanks, Amy. That's a really good point. Which brings up another thing, and I don't have to go into it in too much detail, but for buyer agents, you guys might want to have a conversation with the loan officer first before incorporating anything into an offer to purchase because of underwriting. So I know we're dealing with an issue today that some stuff was written in an offer and the lender didn't like it and loan officer didn't like it because they thought the underwriter would see it. So again, communication, it's the best, call the loan officer, maybe Bill and Amy, you can chime in on this and say, hey, is it okay if we write a letter, or what should we do, and so forth too. And Karen, I think you submitted a question on what should be in the letter. The description in here talks about what should be in and should not be in the letter. So, and again, if you go to the WRA's legal tips that get emailed out, I know everybody gets lots of emails. So if you miss that email or if you don't get that, go to WRA.com and they talk about what should be in the letters. Some of it's common sense, but I have an explanation on the slide, so when Allison sends it out tonight, you can read it too.
Yeah. That'd be good, Allison. Just put that both slides where it explains the legal question in there. So yeah, I mean, the biggest thing, you guys, yes, Cindy said it, common sense. And we don't want to cross any lines of discrimination or fair housing. And so that's the main goal. So.
Good. That's all I got. I got some exciting. Oh, I'm sorry. I have more. All right. So the other thing I want to keep talking about is this monsoon system in MLS. And again, emails. Everybody gets emails from MLS saying, "Hey, play around with this. We got training and stuff." This is a really cool system. So I know everybody's in MLS, and you see the tab on there where you can click on the monsoon and you can get information from your listing. There's also another way to get into this system. It's met.mymonsoon.com. And then you log in with your MLS credentials. So your met.21400, whatever your credentials are, and your MLS password. And you can actually get into their system and you can look up properties through that way and do market analysis and stuff like that. So play around with it. They do a lot of training. Wednesday, June 24th, they have another video series webinar. And then if you go on, they'll have all their videos already taped. So definitely look into that and see if that's going to help out and help you guys out in anything. But MLS is updating and continuously. So it's kind of exciting to see all their new stuff that they coming out. And the last thing, and I know we've been wanting to talk about this for weeks, Jeremy and I, but we're adding a custom library to zip forms. We were promised it would be done yesterday, and it's still not done. So I'm hoping next week we're going to be able to show you guys what it looks like. It's thanks to Jeremy. He kind of set this all up for us. We will now be able to fill out our forms, our Market Center forms through zip forms. So it's coming shortly. So I wanted to, it's close. It's so close. I'm in zip forms right now and it's not there yet, but hopefully by the end of the day. So we'll talk about that next week.
Hey, Cindy.
Yeah.
Regarding that, will there also be a clause library in zip forms that we can access, or where's the best place to access that right now?
Yeah, so there is a clause library right now in zip forms. The way you access it is you have to be in a specific document, and wherever the fillable lines are, if you just kind of put your cursor up there, you'll see a little box that pops up, and there's a little piece of paper, and you click on the paper and it brings up forms library, or I'm sorry, the clause library, and there are clauses regarding the offer to purchase, notices, and I think that's really all the things. So you can access that there. Now, it's not every clause, right? Because there's so many different things that we can talk about. But if you guys have certain language you want in the offer or a notice every time and it's not in our library, email it over to me and I'll add it in, because we can add in anything we want. All right, good question. Anything else? That's all I have.
Looks like you got it all. Good. Fantastic. Thank you. Those are very good updates.
Thanks.
All right, Abby.
All righty. I am going to talk a little bit about email campaigns in Command. So I'm going to share my screen. I am disabled from sharing my screen, apparently.
Working on it.
Let me see if I can, hold on. I'll see.
On a side note, I have color on today, people. This is like monumental. I have purple and I don't wear color, so something big's gonna happen today. Just saying.
Big, huge.
Okay, you should be able to share your screen now. Sorry, I had to change a setting.
There we go. All right. So I'm going to keep this kind of brief, but I did want to walk through sending emails through command and how you can see the traction of them, whether they've been opened, whether somebody unsubscribed from your email campaign. So first I'll show you here in the dashboard, under reports, you go under emails. I'm just showing you this first as a reference so you can see how it changes when I actually set one up quick. So I'm going to set one up and I'm actually going to unsubscribe. So right now you can see there's one already. So we'll come back to that when I show you how it works, and it should show 2 of them. So real quick, to set them up, you'll go over to Command Campaigns. We will go to, this is also where you access those Facebook paid ones. I'm doing something different right now. These are the free email campaigns that you can do. So if you go up to emails, I gotta get rid of this. And go to create a new campaign. You can see a couple options come up. So you can do a social ad, a search ad. These are paid ones. I'm gonna go ahead and click email. And you'll be able to name this campaign, and you can set up certain contacts on this campaign. So I'm just gonna do a test. Let's say I want to do brand awareness. And on the bottom, you can choose either command email or MailChimp. So if you're using MailChimp, you can also select that. For this demonstration, I'm just going to do command email. And then you'll have this whole template that you can edit. So select account, it's going to be your command email account. You can update these settings if you want to. The recipient list, this is where you're going to select who you're going to send this to. So anyone that's going to be on this campaign has to be in your command contacts. So if you do not have contacts in your command database yet, then you will not have a list to choose from. So I'm going to create a new list. I'll just put test, and I'm going to send it to myself. So these are all the people in my contact list. Confirm. And I know this is kind of quick. You can always reach out to me for help, or the Tech Tribe. I just don't want to take the whole team meeting to do a training on this. So now you can see that it's going to me, subject line, testing for meeting. And then you get to choose the content. So KWRI actually has some templates already created that you can choose from, or you can go and make your own. So I did set one up ahead of time just to save time. But if you create a new template, you can choose what you want it to look like, the design, whether it's in 2 sections, if there's a button they can click on, text, a paragraph, photos, anything. So you can kind of like designs when you're in there and you create a page, it's very similar. So I'm going to go back to my designs and choose this one that I created earlier. It's horribly ugly, but hey, I'll show you it for the sake of an example. So I've got all my content in here. I've got the name of the campaign, the account it's coming from is going to be yours. The recipient list, this is the name of the list that I created, and my email is part of that. And when they get it, it's going to say from Abby Lacey. And the subject line is testing for team meeting, and my content's already in there. So now it's ready to go. I am going to hit send. It shows you a final preview. And now it is in mailed status. So I am going to go to my email now as the recipient. There it is. I got my email campaign, so I just sent an email through command, which is pretty awesome. Now let's say, you know, I don't want to get these emails. If I'm a client, I can say unsubscribe. So they do have that ability. Click on, I'm going to unsubscribe from this. Allison, I'm unsubscribed from mine as well. So now nobody's getting my emails. So now I'm going to go back to those reports and see if I have 2 that are unsubscribed. This is more of just validity of this actually working. because I know there's a lot of cool features that we tend to not see fully work. So this is going to be some hopefully good news.
So like Abby, the team meeting recap, we have the market stat, the nice visual. Like that could be something that somebody could email out, you know?
Yeah, totally. You could upload that image. Yep.
That's a perfect example.
Yep. And that's actually what I was going to do with my database. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Nobody would unsubscribe from that.
Right. So now you can see there's 2 under here. When we started, there was 1. So that feedback from my email of me unsubscribing as a client showed up in my report. So I can see how many people have clicked on it, opened it, unsubscribed, and so on. They're going to be working on, or they are working on making this more detailed where you can actually click on this and see who from your database unsubscribed. So you can actually see which of your clients opened it or whatever. And then the undelivered ones, you'll be able to see why, whether it was an invalid email and so on. So they're going to be getting a lot more detailed with this report, but that'll be coming soon. But you can send emails through commands. So
yay.
I think that's it for my little tip and trick.
Tech trick. I like it.
Any questions on that? I'm going to read through these. Drip campaigns. Let me dig a little bit for you, Allison. I know they've got a ton of templates and stuff, so let me see if I can specifically find that. You're looking for like already created templates that you can just turn on, basically?
Yeah, because right now I'm still using eEdge.
Okay.
So it's
yeah.
just something just like that.
All right, yeah, I'll see if I'm sure there's pieces of it. I just have to look at it a little bit further. eEdge is still going to be active. I know Julia, you asked. eEdge is not going away. However, the updates that eEdge are going to have are going to be pretty limited. And so the update in how sharp the campaigns will look, the functionality of them, they're going to be perfecting Command versus eEdge. So no fear in that going away necessarily, but I would encourage you to at least play around in Command, especially with the free stuff. You don't have to pay for these. So I think that's it. If you have questions, feel free to shoot me an email. I'm excited to learn more and more stuff here. So.
Hey, Allison, I mean, just the other word for drip campaign is smart plan. So there's a library with smart plans, and they're also unrolling a customized smart plan option. So
yeah,
they're really getting that going, the email campaign piece. And every time you go into Command or every week or so, there's more in there. There's different changes. So they're moving at the speed of now with all this stuff, and it's really all coming together.
Yeah, and to your point, Shelley, I saw your comment about it being different. This is something that was very recently changed or updated and put out. So that's probably why it looks different. And the reports are really cool to see versus just sending it out and wondering who's actually looking at these. There's purpose behind it. And so it's been cool to test that out and see how that works. All right, that's it for email campaigns, I think. I just wanted to make another reminder about the 80-20 split that was announced the last team meeting. So I won't go into detail about the change, but just a reminder, if you have not emailed me yet, if you want to stay on the 70-30, please send me an email. That is the only way that you will stay on that split. Otherwise, you'll be changing to 80-20. If you need clarification around this, or if you have questions, feel free to reach out to Kim, myself, Scott, Michelle, whoever. But I will need it emailed in writing stating that you want to stay on that other split. So I know some of you have, and I would have replied with confirming if I did get your email. So if you got that response, then you're good to go and you don't have to worry about this. So, all right.
There's an 80-20 split?
Yeah.
What?
Whoop, whoop.
I didn't know about this.
Also sent out an email. I think I did. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. I think I did. Kim said I did, so I did. I sent it.
You did. That's what I copied and pasted all this stuff from. So you definitely sent it.
Are missing the emails from me because you never get any. So I'm sure I have my own folder in everyone's inbox called spam.
We all spammed Abby.
Babby.
Well, I'm gonna start sending them through command and then I'll know who spammed them because you can see who marked them as spam.
Cool. Yeah, and Abby also sent last week, before I give the floor to Scott, information about you guys so far. Remember last week as a reminder that we're going to reimburse you. So it's, say it with me, everybody on mute. One of my favorite words. Wait, are we ready? Say, wait, one more time, because I'm gonna move my mouth, but you're gonna all say the word. Are we ready? I'm gonna do a countdown. 3, 2, 1.
Free.
Free.
Yeah. So free. So $25 you'll get reimbursed. We only have 5 people that have submitted so far to Michelle to get their 25 buckaroos on your leads that you can get through your campaign Facebook ads. So Abby sent out an email about it that shows you how to do it. And that's what your tech tribe is there for. And yes, Allison Marr, you just submitted yours today. So we're at number 6. 6. So we have 160 agents, you guys. So let's do it. Get yourself some leads, people. Okay, floor's yours, Scott.
Joe did this. Joe Singshine did this. He got $25. He got 7 people to call. So, I mean, if you guys don't know who to call and what to do, go make a campaign and they will show up. And we can't make it any easier for you guys to make it free and to have the concierge support and the video training and the people to do it, to help you if you need to schedule an actual appointment and walk through this. Like, we're making all that available to you. And effectively with an 80-20 split versus a 70-30, if you weren't a capping agent or you were just capping, around 3 million, 3.5, 4 million, you effectively are paying your brokerage 33% less money now after, one overnight. So I hope that relief helps you and that you can use that money to either pad your profits or to, maybe reinvest in different lead sources or leverage sources or whatever you can do, because it doesn't matter if you're a solo agent or you're running a team of 30, you should still be running a business. You have a real estate business. So we just want to do everything we can in order to provide as much value for the least amount of cost as possible. So we're excited for that, and we're excited to see where that comes. So if you could go to the next slide, Allison. So I am going to be asking some questions, and I know you guys are all on mute. So just get your hands ready on your mute button. Like in the Wild Wild West, you got to be the quick draw, because we want to just, if we answer a question, we want to just boom, go, mute, unmute. And so I want to share this important information right now, because it could help you guys understand the market, or better yet, be able to talk about it to someone in line at Sendix when they're 6 feet behind you, or to talk about it when you're on a listing appointment or at a family gathering. So this is our lore. Now, this is a little bit different because this is comparing MLS to MLS. So typically we compare ourselves to MLS, meaning KW, but there's value in these numbers. And so first of all, what does lore stand for?
Language of real estate.
Boom.
Language of real estate.
Love it. So the reason why it's called language of real estate is this is the language that we can use to tell a story of what's going on in the market. And a quick example is, if you look at the top 4 numbers, there's rear view numbers and there's windshield numbers. What already has happened is at the top. So you got how many units closed, what was the sales volume closed, how many listings, and what was the listing volume. There's nothing we can do to change that because it's already happened. So those tell a story. And the story is, in May, the listings were down, the closed units were down 28%, May 2020 versus May 2019. Does that make sense? And the closed unit volume was down 28%. So that alone tells me a story that the average sale prices are about exact over this time to last year. The listings sold were down 28%, and the listing sold volume was down 28%. Okay, and so what that means is that's already happened. But if we want to predict what's going to happen in the future, you look at the bottom 4 numbers and you say, how many listings were taken? What was the volume of listings taken? How many contracts were written, and what was the volume of those contract written? Because if we're projecting how much company dollar and profit we're going to make as an office, those are the 4 numbers that we look at. So if you look at April 2020 versus April 2019, you can see that MLS wide, the number of listings taken was down 37.6%. What that tells you is most likely in May, the number of closed units is going to be down. And in June, the number of closed units is going to be down because everything in real estate happens 60 to 90 days after. So same thing with units taken volume and with contracts written. So the number of contracts written or accepted offers in April of last year or this year compared to last year was down almost 32%. And so it tells a story for the future. Now, the last piece I want to mention on this, because you can always talk through these numbers, is if you look at May and you look at the bottom 4 numbers in May, what do you notice in comparison from May to April?
They're getting smaller.
They're getting smaller. And so what would that likely tell you about maybe June, July, August?
They're going to go up.
Those numbers are going to go up. And so you see the negative 22% listings taken unit versus negative 37.6. I would predict that in June and July, that negative 28% that you see for 2020 in May versus 2019, that number would go down. It could normalize. Now, we see 2 months here. 2 months isn't quite yet a trend, but it's starting to tell a story. So if we put June in here and then we put July and we continue to see these numbers going down on the bottom 4, then we could start telling a better story of what's going to happen in the next future months, okay? So we never want to look at what's going on right now only when we're telling a story. We want to be able to better predict the future for any buyers or sellers. Does this information help be able to just put a story to it? And can you guys see the ability to use this? Because we want to provide you with real talking points. Are there any questions on this? Oh.
Do you think this is because of COVID?
I personally 100% think it's because of COVID. The listings taken piece. Because we looked at numbers today in our team meeting. And let me just pull this up really fast because this was a very interesting story. And if you're struggling on how to say, if someone says, how's the market? And you say, well, it's pretty good. Well, let's start looking at certain things that you can track, because last week there was 612 listings taken in the 5-county area, 587 accepted offers. That means that like there was 25 listings that didn't get accepted offers. That is insane. If you think about supply and demand, that's what drives the market. So last year, there was 701 listings taken in that same week. So 81 more, and there was only 527 accepted offers. So 60 less accepted offers and 80 more listings last year. So the market is actually more competitive now because of the supply and demand concept. And you can see that in these numbers of listing units taken. So the story to say is there's never been a better time to list your house right now. Like you are going, it's even more competitive than last year, which I didn't think was possible. If you would have talked to me last June and said, do you think next year is going to be more competitive? I would have been like, I'll eat my hat if it's more competitive next year than it is this year. I probably legit would have said that. So thank you for that question. And then the next slide, Allison. So these next two visuals are something that you could use on a listing appointment if someone is asking like about KW, or you just want to show a quick graphic around Keller Williams. Now we track everything in units. And so this is a rolling 12-month period, and you can see that Keller Williams is outpacing and outtrending the market. And you can see these three trend lines right now with the graphs and what we're doing. And if you go to the next slide, Allison. This one is a great story to say, and I'll tell you a quick little liner on this. So this is the top 6 brokers in all of MLS, and they control 61% of the total volume in MLS. So it's hard to read, but you got Shore West. The first one is all offices like put together. So you don't need to use that one, the one that's super high. You got Shore West, you got Keller Williams, Remax, First Weber, Coldwell Banker, and Realty Executives. What do you notice about the difference between year over year volume?
We're up 15.2%.
Yeah.
What was that, Alex?
We're up 15.2%.
Okay. And what about everyone else?
Down.
Down.
And so we're looking at creating this environment and attracting these people that want to come to work for a company that think like them, that are business minded, that are able to, that are looking for something more, but may not know the model or the system or the way to do it. And that's what we're really looking at attracting. And that's what we're doing to just be as innovative as possible. So that's a good one to just throw in your listing presentation if you ever get asked around the what for Keller Williams. And just lastly on this topic, if you go to the next slide, raise your hand if you've hit all your production and time management goals this year. I didn't raise my hand. I was just trying to be a model or an example. Okay. And so question is like, just pushing back on that a little, what did you do today to proactively move your business forward? And I want an answer, like someone could unmute, like, what did you do today to proactively move your business forward?
I did a drip, well, Libby did a Facebook campaign through Command.
Okay, perfect. Anyone else?
I also did a Facebook campaign today.
Okay. And that's considered lead generation. Like lead generation isn't only about a phone call, which phone calls are free. Don't get me wrong. It's very effective, but there's many, many ways that we can do this. And what if you made just a set amount of time in your day, non-negotiable, that you're going to spend that time moving your business forward? And we want to drown out the noise and just give you this plan and try to make it as easy as possible. And so when we're doing our 9 a.m. calls, our 9 a.m. market center huddles, we have the ability to break out into Zoom rooms. I am going to send out a Google form because I want to get to know what you guys are really wanting to learn, wanting to practice, wanting to script, wanting to do to move your business forward. And we can categorize you all in that section. So maybe there's 2, 3, 4 of you that we spend 10, 15 minutes on mindset, 15 minutes script practicing around what you want to script practice around, how to follow up on a Facebook campaign lead. Because once you get the lead, you actually got to call them or touch them, figure out what to do with it. And then we're gonna do that same 9:30 to 10:30 where we're all in that together. And if you don't want to show up for yourself, show up for your other coworkers. If sometimes it's easier to go to a gym because you're going to let someone else down. And if you don't have the motivation or the strength, rely on us to do that and just click play or click the link and then just build that into your everyday routine. Because together we can create something really magical and something that hasn't been created in any other market center, office, or anything locally. And we can
add on to that?
go.
Can I add on to that? So if you are not reaching your production goal, this is the one thing you should be time blocking for, is the 9 to 10:30. And so Scott and I were brainstorming around this. And so it's as simple as when we say Zoom rooms, you break off in separate groups. So like if you needed to script role play around circle prospecting, if you needed to script role play around what do I write in a note to ask for business, if you needed to, what do I text or social media message around my mobile app, or, you know, the whole point is, you guys, is from 9:30 to 10:30 when we're leaving our Zoom on mute and we're all holding each other accountable to lead generation. We want you to keep that open no matter what you're doing, no matter what you're doing, like Allison just said and Alex just said. The point is you're time blocking. So I'm just going to share what happened with me today, because I also do this same thing. Is at about, I was running a little bit late, but at about 9:40, something was brought to my attention that what stirred up a little bit of emotion. And I went into Scott's office and I was like, we need to address this right now type of conversation, right, Scott? And then I was like, you know what? No, we don't. And I walked out of his office. And then I have proof in a text. Scott texted me at 10:23, something like that, and said, hey, I'd like to talk about the team meeting and presenting the lore. And I said, not until after 10:30. So I had two instances that happened to me during my time block today from 9:30 to 10:30 when I normally lead gen that I could have been pulled away, but I had to not do it and get back in. So that's the point, is do not do this alone. It's very, very hard because we like to put out fires immediately. I do too. But this is where we're going to go to that next level. That next level is, what do you need to script role play? And we can break off in Zoom rooms for the last 15 minutes and give you what you need, if that makes sense. Right, Scott? Were you testing me today?
No, my team meeting starts at 10:30, so I couldn't wait.
Rude.
That's all I got.
Okay, I think we're giving the floor to Mr. Bill Miller, the banker. No, Allison, sorry, Allison, you get to share something first.
I'll make this really quick, Bill, so you have enough time to go over your info. I just have a couple updates. So we are officially hiring for a replacement DFI for me, and hold your horses, I'm not going anywhere. I am in the process of career visioning for another position, working with Michelle to get her an AMCA. Our market center is growing, so we just have a lot more behind the scenes operation stuff that needs to be cross-trained on, stuff like that. So I made a little job post for the front desk receptionist, and we will be posting this publicly this week. I just wanted to let you guys know first. And if you know of anyone who would be good to fill the role, please send their information to me. I would love to reach out to anyone on a personal recommendation from someone in our office. You know, we're just looking for someone to be at the front desk. They have to be a people person. They'll be greeting all of our customers and clients, answering the phone and all of that kind of stuff. So that's that little announcement. Are there any other questions? Oh, okay. And then the next thing I have to talk about is we got a new drop box out front. I took some pictures and I'm in one of them, my little mirror selfie over here. And this is where it is. It's off to the right. It's actually bolted to the concrete, so it's a lot more secure. I know our other one was kind of loose and people didn't want to put their money in there. So this is now what we'll be checking every day. So if you have buyers dropping off earnest money, tell them that's where this is. It's labeled Keller Williams Dropbox, and it has our office phone number on there too. So I think this one will be a lot better than our old one. And that's all I had. Does anyone have any questions for me? And like I said, if you know of anyone who you think would be a good fit for our front desk, please send me their information because I'd love to start on a recommendation from someone personally. So that's all I have.
The new Dropbox is big enough too if you want to like throw in a candy bar or something for Allison. So, all right.
Yeah, closing docs, anything that needs to go in there.
Yep. All right. Bill's in the house.
Hey. Hello, everyone. So I want to refresh a few things that we had talked about in the past relating to credit scores. And Amy and I go through this a lot where we're working with someone and they look at their Credit Karma score, or they look at their credit score on their bank statement or their credit card. There's so many places you can get credit scores nowadays. And the crux of the situation is that those scores are not the scores that the mortgage companies use. So the first thing I want you to pay attention to is where it says TransUnion Classic 04, that line. Those are the 3 credit bureaus that the mortgage companies use to determine what interest rate you are entitled to receive on your mortgage. Those are the scores. The only place that I have found to get those scores where it's reasonable is myfico.com. So that's listed right above. So if you go to myfico.gov, you can spend anywhere between $20 one time, $30 or $40 a month to do some credit monitoring. And here's one really important thing that makes Amy and I different. We can use a what if simulator. So if someone says to us, what if you paid off a collection? How much will your score go up? Or what if I paid down this credit card? Something like that. Those are things that we can help people model how much their scores will improve, which will ultimately lower their mortgage payment and make them happy, which is what we want. We want happy people. And then the other thing to keep in mind is when you should actually dispute something on your credit report. There are some people out there that are shotgunning credit reports. They're basically saying, we're going to dispute everything on your credit report for you, Mr. Customer, and we're going to make your scores go up. Well, unfortunately, that's not always the case. The dispute process freezes that item on your credit report for 30 days. It masks that item from your credit rating for 1 month while the credit bureaus investigate it. Now, if you have something that was legitimately not late, something that you paid off and you don't agree with the fact that they claim you were, in the wrong, those are perfect things to dispute. But just don't willy-nilly go and dispute something on your credit report for one really good reason. And that is that the mortgage companies will make you remove the dispute in order for you to get approved for your mortgage, especially when there's a balance on the item. Because if there is a dispute on your report, it's masking your true credit score. So that's why having disputes on credit reports is something you got to kind of proceed with caution on. And then the final thing I was going to make a comment on in checking if Amy has anything to add is the soft credit pull process. Mortgage companies do check your credit score 10 days before closing to make sure you didn't go buy new appliances or that you didn't go buy a new car. And if we find out you did something, we're going to ask you for a paper trail. And yes, it can affect your approvability of a loan. Amy, do you have anything to add?
No, I think you covered all of it. Those are all the things I would say.
Awesome. If you guys need any help with credit scoring and trying to optimize credit scores, Amy and I are here to help. Have a great day.
All right. So the good news is you shouldn't buy a car or a refrigerator before you buy a home, but you can buy a pair of shoes. Okay. Well, they're not, everyone. As long as they're not Jimmy Choo's, right? So
Skechers.
Yeah.
Question: is the credit score you get on mint.com TransUnion? I think it is. I just was wondering if you knew.
So that is one of the TransUnion products, Jeremy. There is like if you went to Mint's or you go to annualcreditreport.com, those are going to be the type of credit reports that are commonly used to determine like for a credit card or something like that, not for a mortgage. The ones for a mortgage have a tendency to have a slightly lower score than the ones that you're going to see on that credit card statement or your bank statement or something.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Bill, I have one question quick. Were you just talking to like a version of Jeremy from 20 years ago based on that picture, or is that current Jeremy?
Jeremy, right?
Actually, I was going to ask about Photoshop, but I was going to do that offline. I just thought it. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Yay.
Clean your office, Jeremy. Oh my gosh.
Ew, what is
He's eating.
your office? Yes.
No comment.
Keep going.
Get that man some help. All right, guys, we're going to get off the Zoom, get on the next one, and you're going to be on the second step of your listing series. So see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Make it a great week.